This is Sony's latest Bluetooth speaker, the SRS-XB32, and it's packed with features. You have extra bass, live sound, waterproof, and also it got those LED lights that adds a little bit of a party atmosphere. Expensive? Yes. Is it awesome? Yes. So let's dive right into it. I think that most of you will be very interested in the sound quality, and to start off with the bass, you're not gonna disappoint it. The highs and mids, they come through clear and the bass has some kick to it, but the speaker does tend to overemphasize low frequencies and can sound a little bit muddy at times, especially with the extra bass feature turned on, which is enabled by default. Now there's a dedicated live button on top, and Sony shares that this should give you some festival vibes, but I don't get that feeling, to be honest. But I did notice that it does maintain the bass from the extra bass mode while increasing the volume and enhancing some of the mids. The speaker tends to be bass heavy, but you can turn the extra bass feature on and off using the Sony Music Center app, or by holding down the volume down and the play buttons for 3 seconds until the power indicator changes its color. So you might be confused by now because it has 3 modes. It has the standard mode, it has the extra bass, and it has live sound. And it's relatively easy to distinguish it on the speaker itself in which mode you are via the chart on the screen right now. So besides all the great audio that is coming from this speaker, it's also packed with features, and before we dive into that, I would like to ask you to subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified every time when there's a new video posted. And now that we have that out of the way, the most obvious one is of course the LED lights, and it's a nice addition to the speaker, and it gives a bit of a party atmosphere, and it helps this speaker therefore to stand out from the other brands. Now, if you don't like the lights, you can hold down the light button inside the cap on the rear of the speaker for about 3 seconds. And via the Sony Music application, you can set the light to dance with the music, to set a more calming effect, or to turn off the lights completely as well. Now, there's also an IP67 rating, meaning that you can easily bring it to a pool or to a beach, and Sony specifically mentioned that it's salt waterproof as well, so this will be a perfect speaker for at the beach. Now, strangely enough, the previous model used Sony's own proprietary charging cable, but this model they stepped up their game and included a micro USB port as well. But for such a modern speaker, I would have loved to see a charging port, which is 2019 standards as well, a Type-C port. Now, Sony mentioned that this speaker could last up to 24 hours, which is kind of true if you set it to the default mode, not the extra bass mode, and if you leave it at 50% of volume, so that's true. But the moment you turn on the lights and you set the extra bass or even the live sound feature, you can halve that number, and that's just a bit too much in my honest opinion. So definitely keep that in mind when you're trying to plan a good party. And the last 2 features that I personally really like a lot are the NFC and Google's Assistant or Apple's Siri. So if you hold down the play button for 3 seconds, it will activate Google Assistant or Siri, and that works just fine.
Google, what's the weather?
And the same counts for NFC, which is pretty nice to have if you're with a group of friends and someone has a music suggestion. To conclude, I think that the Sony SRS-XB32 wireless speaker is a great product. It has a great performance, it has a lot of bass, the LED light show will spice up your party a little bit, and therefore it is quite fun to bring along. Also, I have to say that it got introduced for 170 euros, which I think is a little bit too expensive, and with a price of approximately 100 to 120 euros, it will be just a little bit more justified in my honest opinion. I also have to say that I barely used the application because everything can be controlled via the speaker itself, and I would also love to have a Type-C port. So, what do you think? Is it worth its money? Do you like the light show, or is it just too gimmicky for you? Let us know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, you learned something. Don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and then I hope to see all of you in the next one.